Biden and Harris, utilizing Marxist tactics to destabilize America. The Biden-Harris administration has faced significant criticism for its handling of immigration, economic policies, and national security. Critics argue that their approach has resulted in an unprecedented influx of unlawful migrants, a surge in criminal activities, and infiltration by foreign adversaries like Russia and China. Some contend that these actions align with Marxist tactics aimed at destabilizing the country from within by undermining social cohesion, economic stability, and national security. This article will explore these claims by examining the evidence and quotes on unlawful migration, the impact of criminal gangs, and foreign infiltration under the Biden-Harris administration. Marxist tactics and their application. Marxist tactics, as historically understood, involve creating social and economic conditions that lead to instability and, ultimately, revolution. This often includes fostering division, weakening institutions, and encouraging class conflict. Critics of the Biden-Harris administration argue that several of their policies mirror these tactics, particularly in the areas of immigration, law enforcement, and foreign policy. Unprecedented influx of unlawful migrants. One of the most contentious issues under the Biden-Harris administration has been the dramatic increase in unlawful migration across the southern border of the United States. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, over 2 million encounters with migrants occurred in fiscal year 2022 alone, the highest number ever recorded. This figure represents a significant increase from previous years and has sparked concerns over national security, economic burden, and public safety. Critics argue that the administration's approach to immigration, including ending the Remain in Mexico policy, reducing immigration enforcement, and halting border wall construction, has encouraged unlawful migration. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, a vocal critic of the administration's immigration policies, stated, "The Biden administration's open border policies have led to a catastrophic crisis at our southern border, with record numbers of illegal crossings and dangerous criminal elements pouring into our communities. Criminal gangs taking over apartments and urban areas." Another alarming consequence of the influx of unlawful migrants has been the rise of criminal gangs and their influence in American communities. Reports have surfaced of gangs, including MS-13 and other organized crime groups, exploiting the immigration crisis to expand their operations. In some urban areas, these gangs have reportedly taken over apartment complexes and neighborhoods, engaging in illegal activities such as drug trafficking, human trafficking, and extortion. A report by the Center for Immigration Studies highlights the infiltration of gangs into American cities, noting, "The Biden administration's policies have made it easier for criminal elements to enter the U.S. and exploit vulnerable immigrant populations. These gangs are not just a border problem, they are now embedded in communities across the country, creating fear and instability." Infiltration by Russian and Chinese agents. Concerns about foreign infiltration under the Biden-Harris administration have also been raised, particularly regarding Russia and China. Critics argue that a lax immigration and border policies have opened the door for foreign adversaries to exploit vulnerabilities in U.S. security. Intelligence reports have indicated an increase in Russian and Chinese operatives attempting to enter the United States under the guise of legitimate travelers, students, or refugees. Senator Tom Cotton has been outspoken about the risks of foreign infiltration, stating, "The Biden administration's weak stance on border security and immigration has not only allowed millions of unlawful migrants to enter the country, but has also opened the door for foreign adversaries to infiltrate our society. This poses a direct threat to our national security and sovereignty." The House Homeland Security Committee has echoed these concerns, warning that foreign actors, including those from Russia and China, are using the chaotic situation at the southern border to send operatives into the U.S. These operatives are engaged in espionage, cyber attacks, and influence operations aiming to undermine American institutions and sow discord among the population. Destabilizing America's social and economic fabric critics argue that the cumulative effect of these policies and developments has been to destabilize America's social and economic fabric. The mass influx of unlawful migrants, combined with the rise of criminal activity and foreign infiltration, has strained public services, increased crime rates, and undermined community trust. Moreover, these issues have fueled social division and unrest as communities grapple with the consequences of unchecked migration and rising crime. In the view of some commentators, these outcomes align with Marxist tactics aimed at destabilizing societies. By fostering division, overburdening institutions, and creating economic and social chaos, such tactics aim to weaken a nation's resilience and pave the way for more radical political change. Conclusion. While the Biden-Harris administration may not explicitly endorse Marxist ideology, critics argue that their policies have had a destabilizing effect on the United States. The unprecedented surge in unlawful migration, the rise of criminal gang activity, and the infiltration by foreign adversaries under their watch raise serious questions about their commitment to national security and social stability. Whether intentional or not, the consequences of these policies suggest a troubling trend toward greater instability, division, and vulnerability in America. As these issues continue to unfold, it remains critical for policymakers and citizens alike to remain vigilant in safeguarding the nation's security, sovereignty, and social cohesion.